this Independence Day, I have a very simple question for our American panel. Are America's best days ahead of us, or are they behind us? Who would say ahead? Raise your hands if you say ahead. And who says behind? Okay, I'm curious. Why are you a pessimist?
Well, the numbers have been trending towards going down as a country. Our education system has gone down. We're no longer one of the smartest countries. Our literacy rate is going down. It doesn't look good.
Why are you a pessimist?
I just see, I see the jobs are just tanking. I just see people, their bank accounts are getting smaller and smaller. The interest rates, you can't, even if you save something, you can't make any money off of it.
Someone give me a positive. Someone give me some hope.
You know, I choose to believe that we will get better. Just knowing some of the things that have been done that the media does not allow us to hear on the news or read on the newspaper, we will get better. You know, I choose to believe we will. We have to, and we're counting.
So, Congressman Issa, Darrell Issa from San Diego, welcome.
And I'm with her. Our best days are ahead of us.
Why?
First of all, understand that there's assets and liabilities. Our nation's liability is minimal, really, when you look at our assets. Great low-cost energy and tremendous natural resources. We do have a highly educated workforce. Yes, we could do better, and we know how to do it, but we are still the envy of the world. Ask yourself why more people immigrate here than all the rest of the world combined. In fact, as you said, are we slipping? Yes, we're slipping in our lead, but we're still in the lead, and we still have the ability to lead the world for 100 years to come. But the decision's ours.
So let me ask you this question. You're at the center of just about every investigation that's going on here.
It's my job, man.
We talk about the role of freedom and liberty and independence, but what about the role of accountability?
Well, I think that's the nature of the committee that I'm honored to lead, is that people ask the question, well, what's the most important committee? Is it the appropriators who spend your money? Is it the Ways and Means that decide how to tax you? Or is it, in fact, the people who are responsible to see that what is taxed from you is fairly collected, that what is spent is well spent? And that's really where oversight comes in. That's where this branch of government was envisioned by these men behind us as, in fact, a balance in which not an adversarial relationship, but a relationship of accountability. And that's really what my committee, fairly uniquely in the Congress, is primarily to do.
So let me ask you one more question before I go to our panel. This issue of accountability, you've been very tough on the president all the way through. You've been tough on the Attorney General. Sure. On this Independence Day, would you ever acknowledge that maybe you've been too tough?
Well, you know, Frank, in 2006, I was investigating as a subcommittee chairman. I was investigating an organization called the Mineral Management Service. Yes, you've heard the name recently. We decided, without a doubt, and published a report that this was dysfunctional, irresponsible, conflicted. They lacked the expertise or even the willingness to do the job of overseeing oil and natural gas and other minerals. We did that because we needed to, but then we didn't take the next step. We didn't hold them accountable for change. And a few years later, the Gulf of Mexico was filled with oil. So never again can I wasn't tough enough. I don't think you can be too tough when you want to correct what's wrong in government.
So I'm going to give you a chance that usually doesn't happen. What advice do you give him in his role of chairman of the most important investigative committee? What would you tell him?
Hang tough.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Hang tough?
We're doing exactly what we need to happen. That's been the biggest problem. We're spending the money, we're taxing the money, but we're not oversight. Thank you.
What would you tell him?
Realize there are a lot of people out there that believe in the true grit that you have, and we're watching.
In the back, what would you tell them?
Be transparent. Let the people know what you're doing and what you're involved in.
Go ahead.
Don't let the leaders of the parties determine what you're going to do.
What would you tell them?
Same thing. I mean, stay to what you're doing right now, and don't let politics get in the way.
But I got to challenge you guys. You're the ones who say that it's too partisan, right? So you think it's not partisan? No. William.
It's not partisan. There's too much infighting going on, and that's why everybody's so frustrated with Congress right now. What is it that you're doing that's different that's going to make it better?
Everyone grab your dials. React.
I think the important thing is that, in fact, the founders envisioned 3 branches of government, each of which balance the other. The partisanism should not be between Republicans and Democrats in the House and the Senate. Our partisanism should be between the branches. We should be holding the executive branch accountable, just as the courts do if they overstep, just as the courts do if we overstep. So my view is there's no question that the more transparency we force out of the executive branch, the more people participate in democracy.
Is that a good answer?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
But it doesn't really address what's going on between the different parties. It doesn't correct it. What needs to be done to correct that?
One of the challenges we have is that we've lost track of who the enemy is. The enemy of good representation by your executive branch and your Congress are the huge growth in bureaucracy. So can we get past the idea that it's Republicans versus Democrats and get to the question of, has government grown so big that it's not accountable? There was outrage over GSA. There was outrage over that party. But what are we going to do to make sure there aren't thousands of those, as there are, going on in government, wasting your money? That's where we've got to come together. Is it tough? Yes. But the toughness has to be accountability and transparency.
You agree with this?
Yes.
I want you to stay put because we got more questions for you. In particular, we're going to ask Congressman Issa, has he gone too far with Barack Obama? Is there anything that he needs to apologize for? And later on in the show, some of the top House freshmen are going to take your questions, and Congressman Rob Andrews from New Jersey is going to give the Democratic perspective, so stay tuned.